Okay, welcome back to another video, and in this one we'll be taking a look at Amiga Format Magazine from all the way back in Christmas 1993, which is 22 years ago. Frightening, really. It's issue 54, costing £3.95, which was quite a lot back then for a magazine. They were a lot cheaper than that for the most part. So the demo disc that's really of interest here is Cannon Soccer, which was a special by Sensible Software. It's really cannon fodder, but the map has the castles from Megalomania and it has the pitch from Sensible Soccer. So I won't spend too long on this because it's a thick magazine, so I might just have to skip a few adverts and things like that. So what have we got here? We've got a lot of hardware. You see the accelerator card for your Amiga 1200. So this was there we go, 1230 turbo. So this would have been your 68030, which was quite a decent chip at that point. There may be a little bit of glare on this. The material that they use, well, the paper that they use is a bit glossy, which tends to reflect. Future Zone. I used to remember this. This became, was it Game Zone, and then ended up becoming Electronics Boutique, which became Game. Oh, got merged into Game rather. So what have we got here? Super Jam. This looks like a MIDI program. I don't think it's a mod tracker. It might be. Not sure. More hardware. So what company is this? Doesn't say. You'll be screaming at me when you can see. Oh, there we go. Power Computing. So they're selling 1200 expansions. So they look like the memory expansions, but I'm sure that's an O. Is that an 060? No, it can't be. It'll be an 030. What they're selling here. Yeah, they're just memory. I'm sure that's a Motorola CPU on there. Might be a misleading picture. So this is Cannon Soccer, which you can see the huts there, or rather the castles. I suppose it depends how far you are through the game. From Megalomania, you got the pitch from Sensible Soccer, and it's really just cannon fodder, which is, you know, a good game. This was Special Reserve. This was quite a popular mail order company. They always had adverts in most magazines, and I think some things were reasonably priced, some things were a bit expensive, but they used to sell Mega Drive and SNES, and if you look in magazines like Mean Machines, they're selling, you know, consoles there, so it's the same stuff. And I'm sure they did stock Atari ST as well. So what have we got? Yeah, I mean, that's a good selection of games. And then you've got your Amiga CD32. I forgot this came out in 93. I always remember it as being 94, but must not have been. That's the intro from Zool 2 for the Jaguar, if I remember correctly. Yeah, a bit of warfare there. So you've got a pair of turkeys, which is the ST and the Amiga, and it's saying that the Amstrad's better. That's a controversial one. I think I prefer the Amiga, and I think it's got better games and better software. Ooh, controversial. Yeah, Wordworth. I do have this on the Amiga. I think is it Wordworth 7 that I have. It's a nice word processor. Oh, the cats are talking to each other. That's probably what you can hear in the background. AGA Amos. Amos was a games construction kit. More adverts. Sequest DSV. I think I had this on the PC. I think I had a lot of pre-rendered stuff in it. More Amigas. I mean, the price here you're looking at $329 for an Amiga 1200, which is really expensive. I mean, even back then with inflation, you're looking at something like more than, I suppose, if you see it as a console, it's expensive. If you see it as a computer, it might not be, but it's certainly less than a PC, but certainly more than some of the cheap laptops you can get now. Yeah, so these are just interviews with some of the more dominant companies back then. So I don't remember Acid. I'm thinking Skid Marks, but I'm sure that was Codemasters. Yeah, Archer McLean, Millennium. Yeah, that's Elite Frontier. That looks like Jeff Crammond's, but I don't think it is. Sensible Software, yeah, great games. I just bought that on the Mega Drive a couple of weeks ago with the Meniser. It's one of the few games that supports it. That's a really good game. I didn't realise there was an Amiga version. Alien 3, that's pretty much the same as the Mega Drive one. Mortal Kombat isn't that great on the Amiga. More adverts. There's a lot of adverts in this issue. That's probably why it's so thick. I like that. The power user. So they've got final copy, Amiga format. That's a hard disk on an expansion board for, is that an Amiga 2000 board? Can't quite tell from here. And definitely a mullet, so yeah. Very stereotypical Amiga user back then and maybe even now. Just a lot older. Yeah, this kid has got a very good Christmas. He or she, can't tell, has got an Amiga 1200 and a CD32. But you look at the games, and there's games like Diggers, okay, Magic Boy, Hired Guns, and there's a World War I flight sim. I don't think that's a real kid in a real bedroom. I think it might be staged. But if he's playing, or she is playing Hired Guns, there's hope for them. Manga, yeah, Manga is still around now. They're a publishing company that do anime primarily, even though they're called manga. Although they do publish a little bit of manga comics. I've never seen that. I really should do. Yeah, Piracy, The Kiss of Death. I don't think it was for the Amiga. Piracy was always a problem, but I think a lot of games were still sold. Yeah, so FAST was an organisation that prosecuted people for doing like mass piracy on markets and things like that. Oh, that's kind of interesting. You've got interviews with people. You've got Dino Dini, Peter Molyneux, looking a lot younger there, and I don't know the guy, Andy Braybrook, did Uridium 2. Yeah, interesting. Bigger picture. Yeah, adverts. More adverts. Screenplay. So this will be the reviews. So Christmas '93. What did we have? We have Mortal Kombat, which was okay. Can't afford a great game. Jurassic Park. I haven't played the Amiga one. It looks a bit like the SNES version. Zool 2, that was a good game. Skid Marks was a good game. Premier Manager 2, Sensible Soccer, good game. Star Trek, that was that the one that was, it was a point and click adventure game. I really enjoyed that one, the first one. I haven't played the second. Hired Guns. I always wanted to play that. It looked a little bit like Dungeon Master and Captive, but I just never played it. I think at this point Doom had come out and the tile-based action looked a bit dated at that point. I think it put me off it. Frontier 2, well, no, Frontier 2 was First Encounters, wasn't it? Frontier Elite 2 rather. Iridium 2, Second Samurai, I haven't played that. Soccer Kid, I think I played demo. Settlers, Micro Machines. I mean, these are really good games. Some of them are console ports, some not. But it's a good time to be an Amiga owner at this point. Civilization, that's a great game. I've got the, I think it's it might be the AGA version, but I've got the CD-ROM version for my Amiga 1200. So upcoming games, King's Quest 6, forgot that came out on the Amiga. I remember it on the PC. Simon the Sorcerer, Fury of the Furries, got that on the CD32, and I've never played it. I think I might have put it on once and I've just never gone around to playing it. There's a few actually on the CD32, but one day. Lemmings Christmas Special, I haven't played that. Again, I should. Rise of the Robots, I haven't played that. I don't intend to. Goblins 3, I think that's a point and click adventure. A lot of sports games. James Pond 3. Yeah, this was a bit of an odd one. It felt a bit, take a swig of coffee, it felt a little bit like Mario. I think they were really going for the Mario bent on the game. It's quite fast as well, so it's considered okay, but not quite as good as Robocod. So what are these? Backup Pros? These are probably worth a fortune on eBay now. Sound Blaster. What's that? Is that a RAM RAM expansion? It's got a clock on it, so it's got a battery. Not sure. Action Replay. Didn't realise they came out for the Amiga. I've seen them on the Mega Drive and SNES. Hand scanners. Yeah, they're not the best because you've got to drag them in a uniform way, otherwise they tend to do nasty things. You get like smearing and stretching and stuff like that. Frontier Elite 2, this is a fantastic game, particularly on the Amiga. If you've got an expansion card, it really does make a difference because the frame rate's okay but not great, but if you've got an 030 it plays really fast. So they gave it 90, and I think that's well deserved. Forgive the slight interruption there, cats being, well, cats. Yeah, these are more adverts. Cyberpunks looks like a top-down shooter, 75%. Never heard of that game. I think there are a lot of Amiga games that just fell by the way and have been lost to history. Find the lighter, so yeah. Hired Guns. This is a game that I really wanted to play back in the day. I didn't have an Amiga when this came out. I think I still had my ST, or I might have got rid of it at that point. But I used to enjoy Captive, and I later played Liberation on the CD32, and this was a game that I've heard many good things about, but I think Doom came out, and on the screenshots you might be forgiven for thinking this is, you know, a real-time 3D game, and it's not. It's like Dungeon Master, so it's all tile-based, and you move in discrete tiles. But yeah, this has got a fantastic reputation. I really should play that one day. Magic Boy. You can see the copper colour bars there. Don't know if this is Amiga 1200 or not. The colours look really nice in that. What games have we got here? How many do I recognise? Quite a few. Oh yeah, this is the Kicks XL series. I think they had a Hits one as well. F117. Did I play this on the ST? I think I might have. It came with a huge manual and all these overlays for the keyboard. Cannon Fodder. Fantastic game. There are quite a lot of ports of this. I've played it on the Amiga original and the Jaguar and the Mega Drive, and they're slightly different from each other graphically, but they all play really well, and it plays really well with the joypad. So yeah, 95%. Yeah, needs 1 meg. Yeah, this was a really good game. The sequel, I haven't played it, but it's meant to be more of the same, but not quite as good. If that makes sense. And there is a more recent sequel. came out a few years ago that's not meant to be that great, but I haven't played it, so I can't speak to that. Turrican 3, only 77%. Now this is an odd game because it's not like the first two. It's very linear. The sprites I think are better on this, but the levels are not as good, and the backgrounds don't look as good as the Mega Drive game. They use a lot of copper bars and things like that rather than proper tile maps. But the music's fantastic. This is a really, really good sounding game. But yeah, 77. What's a bit odd is I remember this in one of the shops. I think it was Game in Meadow Hall, and thinking the Amiga's looking a bit tired at this point. But when you look at the rest of the games in here, they're talking about games like Cannon Fodder, and I'm sure Cannon Fodder came out during the Amiga's prime rather than it being quite late. But maybe I've remembered that wrong. Maybe I just saw the game a lot later. Maybe they didn't stock it until 94, 95. Yeah, Zul 2. That's a good game. I think I actually preferred this to the first one. You feel a little bit more in control. Yeah, Settlers. This would be the first one. This was a really nice game. I don't think it got any console ports either, but I played this one on the PC. And Settlers 4, I think it was. Yeah, great game. Games Master, if you're watching videos by Gruss Newton, he's covering these. So this will be December 93. I think he covered this one as well. Yeah, so more Special Reserve. Yeah, these are smaller games. Borderline indie games. Kingmaker. Not the Megadeth song. This is 20 years before that. 78. Don't remember that game. Certainly remember Premier Manager 2. Although I've never played it. What's this? Wonder Dog. I've got this on the Mega CD. I found out recently it had a PAL version because I've got the Japanese version, and I've never heard of this coming out in Europe at the time. I never saw it for sale, and then I saw it in a game shop, like a retro game shop, about a month ago, and I was surprised there is a PAL version. I quite like this game. It feels very European. It's core design, and it just feels like an Amiga game, which for an Amiga would make sense. More adverts. Yeah, strange alien baby effects, which you can do with tools like, is it iChat on the Apple, lets you do strange things with the image. Kind of image, like, not image detection, but like face detection and things like that. Printers. I don't remember any of these games. So engagement. That looks a lot like the LCARS system from Star Trek The Next Generation. Cannon Fodder. War has never been so much fun. Oh yeah, you can see the soldier in there. Yeah, a bit controversial at the time, but beneath it all, the game is really good. So, yeah, internal RAM with 1, 5 or 9 megabyte. Why 9? That it seems a bit odd. You think it'd be 1, 2, 4 or 8. So, I know there is a limit on the 1200 on the amount of RAM you can put into it without an expansion card. Alien Breed 2. Yeah. This game is really hard. It got 80% because there was one more after this. There was Tower Assault, which was meant to be like, I haven't played it, but I've heard it's meant to be all the levels are interconnected. More Wonder Dog, 74%. I thought that would have been higher. Oh, Amiga Power. Yeah, that was a really nice magazine as well. They said what they meant in that, and I think they upset some publishers at the time, but certainly entertaining. Kira Moore, Anime, Seek and Destroy. Heard of that, never played it. Body Blows, Galactic. This is the second one, I think. So this was when Street Fighter 2 was all the rage, and the Amiga had to have a decent fighting game. I mean, Street Fighter 2 on the Amiga and ST wasn't great. I think the main problem was the hardware wasn't. I don't think it was really designed for that kind of game, and having one joystick button or two at most on the Amiga wasn't ideal. Some more add-ons that are probably worth a fortune. As I've said before, that'll be your kickstart swapper there. Power supply. I mean, looking at these prices now, it's about the same as what you'd pay for them now from Amiga dealers. So, you know, it is what it is. Zool CD32, which is really just the, I'll say the AGA version. I don't think there was an AGA version of the sequel. Oh no, sorry, I'm talking rubbish. This is the original Zool, so yeah, this will be the AGA version from the 1200. I think Zool 2 came out on the CD32 as well. Sleepwalker, I played that on the Amiga 1200. I think it was a pack-in game with my friend's A1200. PC Gamer, what games have we got? Beneath the Steel Sky, Judgment Rights. That's the one, Judgment Rights. That's the sequel to the Star Trek game I was talking about. Globule. You can see there the dithering. I don't think the Amiga could do transparency all that well. Kind of like the Mega Drive, whereas the SNES could. Zombies. Yeah, Spellbound. I think I had that on the ST. I think that was the one where I broke the joystick because there's like a wrestling thing in it. Am I thinking of another game? Oh, it's all on the ice, and yeah, I broke the joystick with that. Lethal Enforcers on the Mega CD. This will be Super Skid Marks. Virtual Reality. This, I remember this. This was Beatties. There used to be one in Meadow Hall, and it was the shop right next to Beatties, all owned by the same company. They used to have one of the virtual, was it Virtuality? They used to call them those big 3D experiences, all powered by an Amiga 3000, I believe. I've seen a couple of those at trade shows recently. Not trade shows, but kind of retro conventions. Yeah, more adverts. Re-releases. Night Shift. Saw that for sale once on the ST at Macro, and I thought it looked good, but never bought it and never saw it again. Lynx. That was a very good game on the PC. Although I think the one we had was the Lynx. Was it 386 or 486? Looked more detailed than that. Railroad Tycoon. Yeah, good game. Yeah. Fury of the... No, get it right. Fury of the Furries. Not Fury of the Furies. Oh, there's a mark there. Don't know if that's a printing error. I think so. Huh. Dreamlands. Don't know what Dreamlands is. Come back to this. No. Yeah, cool spot. Same as Mega Drive game. Wicked City. I don't remember if I've seen this or not. I'm thinking of... no, it's AD Police that I saw. I'm thinking of the more kind of mature sequel to Bubblegum Crisis. That was AD Police, not Wicked City. So, no, haven't seen that. Yeah, more flashback level designs. iShar. Yeah, I remember seeing that at the time and thinking it looked interesting. It's a role-play game. I think it came out on CD-ROM as well. Settlers. And Micro Machines. And the Amiga Power. So this. What was that? Oh, it's an isometric. I'm not a fan of isometric games. The Amiga Power. So is this a supplement or is this an advert? It might be a supplement. I find it really odd that a publisher. What's that? Is that kind of. Sorry, cool. No, that's the first one. Yeah, that a publisher makes 2 Amiga magazines, you'd think that it'd be cannibalising its own audience. So what did Canafodder get? 94. Yeah, that's well deserved. Prime Mover, motorbike game. It looks a bit like Hang On. 22%. Whoa. What does it say about the Amiga 1200? Is it an A1200 only game? I don't know. Who made this? Psygnosis. Never heard of that one. That looks like a map to Alien Breed. Yeah, you don't really get a lot of letters now. I think the internet's really killed that. But you do get answers a lot quicker, more joysticks and things. 300 quid for a CD32. Probably quite good value in those days for the CD-ROM drive. Build your own Amiga 4000. Out of what? Oh yeah, the retargetable graphics. This was the RT. Is it RTG? So you get 256 colour workbench. Yeah, this must be expansions. Either you're expanding a 3000 or it'll be expanding a 4000. Oh, that looks really good. That looks really messy. Amiga Annual. Stupid baby alien face. Okay, sound editing. Never did that on the Amiga, and didn't even do mod tracking either. It was a lot later. I was on the PC at that point. Okay, money programs. So you can track your overspending on your Amiga add-ons. Silica, yeah, I remember Silica. They're a bit like Special Reserve, but they used to have a shop in Debenhams in Meadow Hall, and they were one of the few people that sold Jaguars, Atari Jaguars. It's an interesting CD TV add-on. Oh yeah, £99. RRP 349 reduced to 99. I don't think that lets you play CD32 games though. More music. So you get your cards. I mean, this will be. You can't really do any of this on the Amiga 500 or 600 or 1200. It'll have to be either the 2000, 3000 or 4000. Accelerators, what have we got here? Secondary hard disk, 330 meg for 299, so it's almost a pound a megabyte. What? That makes no sense. 85 meg for 900 quid. Whew. That's a bit of a rip-off. Okay, yeah, you've 68040, 40 megahertz. That would have been really quick at that point. It ran hot though. It was the 060, which was cooler. Memory expansions. Yeah, they've got the Motorola chips. I always thought they were the CPUs, because mine's got a CPU and it's got an FPU as well. Maybe not. Maybe there was a Motorola chip to control the RAM. Yeah, SCSI cards. Yeah, there's not much point in getting these. You might as well just get a proper expansion card, because you can only plug one in at a time. Yeah, 1230 Turbo. Yeah, that looks like a nice card. So you've got your CPU benchmark, sysinfo, which is still useful even now. So with this will be a CPU. You must be able to plug your FPU in there, and then your SCSI stuff. I don't know how much RAM you can put in these. Oh, there we go, 32. Yeah, I pulled my RAM out of an old PC. It's a 32 meg board, and it still works. So, and it registers as 32 meg. So that must be the limit. More multimedia stuff, which unless you've got 256 colour, is a bit difficult to do. Yeah. What's that? Hawk? RAM. Oh, math accelerator. FPU must be. Amiga repairs. I wonder if they're still going. Fractal program. Future music. That's still going now, I believe. I'd like to try and get a hold of a copy of that for the, you know, for the early 90s to see what the current state of the art was. And that will definitely not show up on the camera. I think it's, oh, it's shareware discs. Stuff downloaded from bulletin boards at the time. Yeah, they're padding a lot of this out. Oh, public domain, this is sometimes interesting. Before really you had your open source. Public domain special. There is some good stuff, but there's a lot of crap. Back issues. Yeah. I don't remember any of these at the time. There's a lot. I mean, they've really padded this out, considering you're paying so much for it. What's that? 40 megahertz. Oh, it's a Amiga 500 add-on. Yeah, so this will be for, it's kind of the section's workbench. I think a lot of people forget that the Amiga was almost like a PC, that you had a desktop and you could do word processing and use it as a computer, not just as a games machine. So I mean, PCs were just so expensive at that point, and yeah, the Amiga was expensive, but there was a lot you could do with it that was better than a lot of PCs at the time. This will be 3D rendering. Is this Imagine? Yeah, Imagine is the 3D rendering package. So yeah, you could do 3D rendering on your Amiga. I bet that took a while to render. If you just had a stock machine, like a 500. Letters. Yeah, I think this is coming to the end. Printers. Next month, don't panic. Yeah, do panic, because Commodore will be going bust that year, which is a real shame. So January 94. And more add-ons. So, wonder where all this stock went. eBay probably. So yeah, oh, Iridium 2. Another good game that gets a sequel on the Amiga, on the C64. Right, so I hope you've enjoyed that. So this has been Amiga Format from Christmas '93. Some really good games in there. I can't recall whether this, I mean the games in this were, they were covering games from the whole year or whether it was just Christmas, but there were a lot of games in there that I seem to remember coming out either early or later. Maybe it was just a case that I played them later, because I think Amiga games tended to stay in the shops a lot longer than games do now. So they'd be selling them as new games for 2-3 years. Right, too much waffling, I'll leave it there. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Yeah, this may look like a boring piece of circuitry, but it makes your Amiga 1200 fast. So these are your accelerators. No, come on, Jess, come on. There we go. Good girl. Come on off. Come on. There you go. She's obviously an Amiga fan. It's probably the smell of this, because I found this in a box under the stairs and it's been there quite a while. So, cover discs. I just took the... No. Come on. Off. Come on. No. Of Canon soccer. Come on. Out. Come. Obviously the cat is a fan of it. No, you don't. You don't want to sit on it, are you?